9 times out of 10, you are in your own way when it comes to success. And that is what tonight's topic is about. Believe it or not, this is the whole webinar right here. Can you guys believe that? Chicken scratch, don't even try to read it, don't worry about it. This is what the whole webinar is about tonight. Getting out of your own way and understanding that you are in control of everything you do that's good and bad. And the minute you start holding yourself accountable for those things, the good that happens to you and the bad that happens to you in business, in your professional life and in your personal life, then you're going to take what I call vertical moves, right? Bold vertical moves and financial quantum leaps. I want you guys to write that down. What we're going to do tonight is unlock your true potential. That's what our on-demand series is about, unlocking your true potential. So tonight, before anybody asks, I'm covering a topic from our inspiration series. Tonight, I'm going to pull some notes from one of those keynotes and give you some insight into what's keeping you from succeeding. Here's what I always tell people first and foremost. Write this down in your notes. Inspiration trumps motivation. That's number one. Now, there's nothing wrong with motivation. You need motivation. I want to make sure that's clear. You need motivation. But let me show you the difference. Motivation is when something outside starts or sparks an idea in you and motivates you to do something that you already have within. Motivation just simply brings it out. In other words, my job on this webinar tonight, when I talk about the 4 things that people avoid that sabotage their success, my job is to spark something in you that you already have that you know you should be doing. And my job is to put some water on that seed, make it grow and blossom so you can get off your butt and go do it. That's what motivation is, right? Brian, I love this. I need to hear some more. Why don't you just coach me? Why don't you kick my butt? I don't mind. That's motivation. But you need to do about 80% inspiration and 20% motivation. Inspiration starts with IN for a reason. It's because when there's no one around, which on the road to success, there typically will not be anyone around. That's what you have to realize. When there's no one around, there's no one cheering for you. You're having a bad day. Your bank account is negative. Your light or cable or gas or cell phone is off. These are all things that have happened to me. You talk to me long enough, you'll know that I've been there. You got one of your utilities off, if not 2. You owe a lot of your friends personal money, so it's strained that relationship because when they see you, they want to know where they little $3. Where my $3? You know what I'm saying? That you owe people money. You got bill collectors calling. What I had to do years ago when I graduated from college is I had to go within and get some inspiration because nobody was there to motivate me. So my situation became my inspiration. I want all you guys to write that. You hear me say that all the time. Let your situation be your inspiration. No one should have to really come along and motivate you and pump you up. But because people need that, that's my gift from God, is to give you a little kick in the butt, show you what you may be doing wrong, show you 9 times out of 10 that it's usually your thinking so we can correct it and you can start living out your purpose. That's very, very important, man. In fact, it's funny, in the inspiration series, there's a training called Fulfilling Your Plan Living Out Your Purpose and Fulfilling His Plan. And that's important. Nothing in the world is better than you knowing that you're doing what you're supposed to do. Nothing in the world like it, right? You got to understand, certain people, Tiger Woods was put here to play golf. How many people you know can bounce the thing on the golf club and then hit it like a baseball? The boy has been playing golf since he was like 3 years old. His golf clubs were taller than him. These are icons. What were you actually put on this planet to do? This I can tell you. You know I'm being serious when I straighten up. This I can tell you. You weren't put here to work for somebody for the rest of your life. That I do know. Because here's the reality. If God made us all equal, and you see people doing things you want to do, and if you believe in a higher power and you know we're all equal, then he had to give you some gifts too, so you can do what you need to do. So in other words, if people got nice homes, and I don't measure success by these things, I'm just giving you typical stuff. People have nice homes, nice cars. What I'll judge really is your investment portfolio, your assets over your liabilities, people traveling the world, having life experiences. Why in the world aren't you doing the same thing? The only difference between you and people that are doing those things 9 times out of 10 is you aren't living out your purpose like they are living theirs. Now, I don't know what your purpose is. I wish I could talk to everybody individually, and I wish I could motivate you every day. And that's why things like this are recorded. That's why social media is so powerful. That's why I'm on 1, 2, 3 different platforms looking like I'm in some studio. But it's powerful because what we can do, people like myself who know for a fact we're living out our purpose, we can help you realize first that you have one. And that's what a lot of people don't do. They don't even realize, half the battle is realizing that you have a purpose. Now your job is to hang around enough positive people to find your purpose. Then once you find your purpose, you take that same group of people that help you find it. Now you go fulfill that purpose. Now that may take you 10, 20, 30 years. But first you have to acknowledge your purpose, write it down. Then you got to find what your purpose is. You got to acknowledge that you have a purpose. Then you got to find out what your purpose is. Then you got to fulfill that purpose by surrounding yourself with people that are going to help you do it. Whether you know me personally or not, I'm here to help you do it. Whether you like my style or not, I'm here to help you do it. Here's why. Because I'm living out my purpose. You see, my job is to live out my purpose. It falls on the ears of people who are ready to live out their purpose. And that's called alignment. So if you're not about my style or what I'm saying, or you disagree, or I look crazy, or he talks fast or whatever, hey, I don't have a problem with that. This is not personal. You got to find somebody that you resonate with. It may be another speaker, but my job is to live out my purpose. And in doing so, I hope a lot of people live out their purpose. Do you guys know, and this is important to fulfilling your purpose, do you know that when you are born, you have more receptors, they're called neurons, in your brain than there are stars in the galaxies combined? You have all these different sensors and neurons in your brain as a newborn baby. Now, I'm going to abbreviate this tonight, but this is very important for you to understand. If you knew how many stars there were in a galaxy, this would blow you away. But here's the truth. The reason a newborn baby can't do anything but basically scream and eat and poop and sleep. Am I right? Scream, eat, poop, sleep. A newborn baby, when they cry, they need one of 4 things. Change me, feed me, burp me, sleep me. That's it. I knew when I had my son, we were together every day. He's a little bitty baby. I said, okay, he's crying. It's one of 4 things. Feed me, burp me, change me, sleep me. Now, the reason that is because a baby's crying because there's so much going on that he cannot control. The light is in his eyes. You talking about coochie, coochie, goo, 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 goo. You kissing all over him. He's trying to understand what that television is. He's trying to understand why I can't control my arms, why I can't control my thumbs, why I can't control my legs, why I can't control my lungs, why I can't control my heart. Here's why. It's a billion receptors going on in his head. He's learning all these colors. He's hearing all these sounds. He's learning what texture is. He's learning what words are. He's learning, he or she is learning all these things. Now, the only way you learn how to get control is you have to start cutting your receptors. It's involuntary. In other words, the only way to get a baby to stop doing this to grab something and start doing this to grab something, he has to cut some of the neurons that are being useless, that are not being used, so he can focus on the neurons that are more useful. So when you're a child, you cut neurons on purpose and they lie dormant. That's so you can start walking. so you can start communicating, so you can focus, so you can learn. But when you come into the world, you got a billion of them. As an adult, you lose over 90% of them. So what happens is the only way for you to get back to operating at a genius level, at a high, I'm talking about a level of IQ of a mastermind, is you have to collaborate with people who have different neurons. Now, I'm not a brain scientist. I want to make sure this, a brain surgeon. I want to make sure this is clear. So all of us cut receptors just so we can walk, just so we can talk, just so we can communicate, so we can stop crying, so we can take ourselves to the restroom, so we can be who we are going to be. Now, everybody is cutting their neurons and cutting their receptors. There's only one way to wake them back up, guys. Hang around people and put yourself in environments where other people are strong, where you are weak. Now, the receptors that you cut, they didn't disappear. They didn't die. God is amazing. Type "won't he do it" in the chat room. That's my favorite little saying. I guess it's old, but I think it's still hilarious. Won't he do it? Just type "won't he do it" in the chat room. He didn't kill your receptors. He just made certain receptors stronger and made certain receptors weaker. So now, the only way, everybody said, "Won't he do it, y'all?" He'll do it every time. The only way to get your receptors to wake back up is for someone who's stronger, who cut their weaker ones, and you with your weak ones who have stronger ones, to start communicating. That's why you're on this webinar. That's why you read personal growth and self-development books. That's why you watch videos. What you're doing, you're waking up the dormant receptors that you had to cut in order to get where you are. But to go to the next level, you need those new neurons to wake back up. That's what I got to get you to understand tonight. So inspiration is great. Motivation is good. But there's nothing like collaboration and you getting on something like this that starts to feed the neurons that you killed and had to kill when you were a child. You were operating at a genius level as a baby. And guess what? We got to get you back to operating at a genius level. So I want you guys to understand, because you'll hear me talk about the brain and neuroscience and stuff like that a lot, because I know it's true. I watched what happened to me. I watched my self-confidence as a child, which I had very little. Short, wasn't always in. Dark skin, wasn't always cool. Man, I was so glad when Wesley Snipes and Michael Jordan came along. I didn't know what to do, man. Al B. Shore and El DeBarge had the game on lock. Okay, so what I'm saying is short, dark, self-esteem just down. I watched my mother feed me personal growth and self-development. Les Brown, Tony Robbins, Jim Rohn, Zig Ziglar. I watched my confidence grow. I watched as I started to surpass a lot of my colleagues and peers mentally. I watched as my career took off. This was 20 years ago. Why? Because I woke up some of the receptors that were saying, you can't do it. You're too short. You don't have any success. You're not as smart as the other kids. Like you see me today, like people are amazed that I ever thought that. But for a small period of time, I did. I ain't gonna lie to you. It wasn't long, okay? But for a small period of time, I did. Low self-esteem as a child. So my point to you guys is I'm living proof. I'm telling you that if you're in a funk, just start putting yourself in environments and let your neurons do the rest. It can't happen any other way. So let's start giving you some new receptors as of tonight. Here we go.